going on? Ryan here again. We are going over day 2 of your phase 1 of your strength program. Once again, I'm going to walk you through each of the exercises and go over the progression to make it a little bit more challenging if you'd like. So here we go. All right, so this one's called 2-foot hop. For this one, we're going to be jumping off the floor. Your feet are going to be just outside of your hips. And what we're going to do is we're going to feel ourselves press through our toes, propelling ourselves up towards the ceiling, and you're going to land softly on the front of your toes. So it's going to look something like this. Between each rep, you're going to pause for a second or two. Just like that. So if you'd like, we can do pogo jumps instead, and all that you're going to do is you're going to do these tiny bounces on the front of your foot, just like the last exercise, but instead of taking the pause between each rep, it's a consecutive movement up and down. All right, so for Romanian deadlift, you're gonna grab an object. Once again, follow our recommendations for the amount of weight to use. For this one, you're gonna hold that weight down low. You want your arms nice and relaxed. For this movement, it's gonna look like this. You're gonna bring your hips behind you until you feel quite a bit of tension in your hamstrings back here, and then you stand tall, okay? There's gonna be no bend in the knees. This is a little bit different than a deadlift. All we're gonna do is pretend like there's a piece of string back here that's pulling us back like that. Right, so one more time, hips back, knees straight. You're gonna lower the weight around knee height. You don't have to go all the way to the floor, that's not the goal. You're basically going until you feel quite a bit of tension here. And then from here, you wanna contract your hamstring muscles back here to help stand yourself up. So a couple more reps, gonna look like this. Be mindful of the position of your spine. Try to keep it as neutral as possible, right? It's easy to bend and get more range of motion. It's not the goal. Just hips back and stand. All right, so this is step back split squat. Gonna look similar to other lunge movements we've done, but for this one, you're gonna stay in place. And all you're gonna be doing is you're gonna bring your trail leg behind you like this. You're gonna bend through the knees. Once again, you're not touching your knee to the floor and resting. You're hovering right above the floor. So once again, you step back, lower yourself down, stand up, and switch. All right, so if you'd like, you can progress this and do a Bulgarian split squat instead. For this one, you're gonna need an object behind you. Once again, an object around knee height. You're gonna face away from that object. You're gonna raise one leg up behind you, and it's probably a little bit more comfortable to rest the top of your foot on the object like this versus pressing your toes in like that. So foot flat. This is a lunge variation, so all you're gonna do is you're going to lower your knee down towards the floor and drive your foot down into the ground. Should feel a little bit harder than the other lunge we just went over. The main focus is once you're down here, really using a lot of force to drive yourself up towards the ceiling. Okay? All right, so this is pause squat side shuffle. For this one, you're going to get into a squat position. You're not going into a deep squat. You're gonna go about halfway down. From this position, it's all about the tension and it's all about these kind of micro movements that we're looking for. So what it's gonna look like is you're gonna take a tiny step over with this leg like this, and then this leg is gonna follow that leg. This is gonna look a little bit like the monster walk that is very familiar. We want it to be very intentional, and you wanna feel the tension on that side of your hips here. Okay. So once again, you're gonna set up, dropping your hips down, doing tiny, tiny steps from here, okay? You're gonna do this in each direction as prescribed. So this is called the Kersey lunge. This is a lateral movement that's super important for running. What this is gonna look like is you're gonna plant this leg into the ground. This back leg is gonna swing behind you like this. With most of the weight being on this front foot, this back foot is here more for just stability and balance. From this position, you're gonna go down and lunge like that. And then you alternate. So this one slides behind, lunge, slide, lunge. You should feel it in the outer glutes here. Okay? From the bottom of the movement, same thing as other exercises. You want to feel like you're driving yourself through the floor. You're not just like standing up out of the position, but you're applying force to bring yourself back up. All right, so this is 45-degree calf raise, and you're gonna do it against the wall. So just like a traditional wall sit, you're gonna bring your hips back towards the wall, make sure you feel nice and supported. Instead of going down to 90 degrees, we're gonna raise up a little bit, somewhere around 45 degrees. You're gonna put most of the weight into your toes or into the ball of your foot here. And what you're gonna do from this position is you're gonna do a calf raise and lower down, okay? Lift your heels all the way up and down. You should feel a lot of pressure into the ball of your foot, and you should feel your quads lighting on fire a little bit, okay? Once again, 45-degree angle, you're not going super deep, okay? All right, so if you're feeling up to it, to progress this forward, we're gonna drop down to 90 degrees this time. So being parallel or perpendicular to the wall, I guess, you are going to do the same movement. You're lifting your heels up, driving that force through the front of your foot, like this. Same kind of thing, you should feel your foot working pretty hard, as well as your quads.